Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hello folks, welcome to InkDependence.com. I'm Mike, and this is Sailor's Souboku, which is a pigmented ink, as it says right here on the side. Inside this nice box, you get this very nice bottle. This is a 50 ml glass bottle, and it goes for about 24 bucks. I bought this one at the DC Pen Show from Sailor themselves. Check them out if you're not familiar with Sailor. Get on Sailor inks because they are real good. Sailor actually makes 3 pigmented inks right now. And I have tried 2 out of the 3, and the other one I haven't actually tried yet. The first one is this one, which is Kiwa-Guro, which is my favorite black, probably. It's always in a pen or 2 of mine. It's a nice pigmented black. It's got this like matte shine to it. Not exactly a sheen, but it's like a little shiny. And it's very, very water resistant. I like that a lot. We've also got here Sailor Souboku, which I actually don't know 100% that I have used. Maybe I have, but I don't really remember it. It looks real pretty here. I like this saturated bit more. And then this is the one we're looking at today, which is Souboku, which is I think probably most likely a mixture of these two. I don't know that for certain, but if I have a blue and a black and I mix it, I get a blue black. So this is their blue black one, and this is what it looks like on a Colodex card, which has got some real interesting pooling and stuff because it is a pigmented ink, and so that means that it tends to pool and such and like leave these darker and lighter areas and this sort of thing in a different way than you'll get from like a sheening ink or something like that. So pigmented inks are real fun and also usually very water resistant. We'll see how that goes here later on today, but there you go. So here's what it looks like on Rhodia. This is my Galen leatherworking Rhodia pad holder. I really like this thing for these reviews. It's fun. And here's what it looks like on here, and you can see again that interesting pooling and such, and a little bit of that shine. Maybe even a little bit of greenish sheen around there, but it's kind of hard to tell with pigmented inks. They're a different sort of beast. Also, you'll hear a lot of times that you have to wash this out of your pen very quickly and all that sort of thing. I'll say that I've had Kiwa-Guro in this one here in pens for literal years without any problems at all. And that's like demonstrators, and it's never been a problem. It's also never stopped up or any of that jazz. These nano pigments are very, very fine, and I've never had a problem with them. So this is, as I say, a little bit wet. I used it in 2 pens for the last while. I've got it in this one, which is an Aurora Talentum. It has a medium nib, and it's a very, very wide medium. It actually probably needs a little bit of tuning. It's very wide and very wet, and it worked pretty well with this ink. I think that it's a little bit undersaturated. That's my only complaint about it when you use it in a very wide nib like this one. It's a medium, but you can see the difference, I think, between these two mediums. So this is the second one, which is that MCM pens pen that I've been using, and you'll see this review up on the site as well. But this has a number 6 Yovo nib. It's also a medium, and it's a very nice medium, and it works very well with this ink. I actually like it better with the MCM, this Yovo one, than I do with the Talentum in this case. I'm not exactly sure why, but I just like the way it looks better, I think. Performance-wise, very minor bleed on the 20-pound paper. This is that Staples 20-pound, 30% recycled copy paper. This is probably the stuff you'll find in your office or whatever because it's the cheapest thing available. And you see a little bit of spread perhaps from this Talentum one, maybe a little bit here too. I mean, this paper is real bad, but it didn't bleed much at all. You'll see a couple little actually a bunch of little dots. But that's like where I end a letter, so it sits there for a sec. But pretty much everything bleeds through this, so it's not a huge surprise that there's going to be some. Although this is more than I was actually expecting from a pigmented ink, but this paper is also pretty darn bad. All right. I've got on a couple of other papers. We can go ahead and take a look on those now, I suppose. But since it's pigmented, it has like a little bit of shading. You'll see some of that here and there. Let's see. This is an Inky Fingers currently inked notebook. This is a wheat straw paper. And so here you go. For the wheat straw, it's these 2 up the top, of course, and I think it looks pretty nice here. I actually like the Talentum on this paper. I think it works out pretty well here. This medium Yovo, also very nice. I tried it in this Faginato that I had, but this nib was a little wonky, and it just hated this ink so much that I took it out almost immediately. It just didn't want to flow at all. But that nib was a little bit on the strange side, so not a huge surprise. Then I have it in an ink journal. Here it is in the ink journal. This is, of course, Tomoe River, which is really good fountain pen ink. Let's see. There we go. There's one. This is from that Fagianato. I did get it writing, and it worked pretty well, but it was just too dry for this ink. And while this ink, I think, feels a little bit wet, it just did not want to work in this one. And then this is the Talentum on here, and I think it worked pretty well on here, too. So, like, I like it on Tomoe River. I like it on Wheat Straw. I didn't love it on the Rhodia. I think it's pretty okay here from that Talentum, but I really like it from this Yovo nib and all this other stuff. Wait, where is the Yovo? There it is. There's the Yovo. I've actually only had it in here for like the last, I don't know, slightly less than a month, couple weeks anyway, 3 weeks maybe. How long have I had it in here? Oh yeah, since August. So I've been using it in this Talentum and stuff since then, but this one less time, which is too bad because I really like it from that MCM pens. It works real nice. All right. So as far as commentary and such, I think this is a darn good ink, and I'm interested to see what it does with regard to water resistance, because I haven't really tried it yet. So let's give it a shot and put some water on this guy. I literally wrote this like a moment ago, this water test text right here. This I wrote a little while ago, but this one just moments ago. So, well, minutes anyway. Put a little water on there. Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure if I mentioned this actually, but this is 50 mils in this bottle for $24, and I bought it from Sailor. Get a little shake and a shimmy, and yeah, it's not moving. It's pretty solid. Scraggles. Hush. I'm doing a video. Scraggles. Goodness. She's over here yapping at somebody. I don't know what's going on out there. Let's blot this up. Although I don't think really anything's coming loose. Yeah, nothing. It's just nothing came off that paper. Oh, does it smear? It smears a little bit when I smear it with my finger, but mopping it up with this thing didn't do anything. So there's a little bit of a layer here that looks like that came off. Nothing came up on this, which is interesting. Like it didn't release into the water, but it did move a little bit when I moved my finger over the wet text. So interesting. But still, I'm going to say that's pretty waterproof, man. That did not really budge much at all. So here's the chromatography. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right quick. Bam, right here. This is, I think this looks pretty nice. Like, it's interesting that you get this like very dark black band down at the bottom, and then it sort of fades up here with this blue. It's just a little tiny, like very, very light blue up here that carried up, but I think that's probably what I smeared right there, and the rest of it's sticking around. So yeah, this pigment ink, pretty darn good. Also, I guess I should say, I wrote this like 3 minutes ago. Let's see, look at my clock. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, let's look at a bunch of color comparisons here. Let's see, let me grab my, where'd it go? Here it is. There's my Souboku right there. All right, so let's show it next to a bunch of other stuff. This is another Sailor ink. This is Sailor Shikiori Shimoyo, which I haven't had a chance to use, and man, now I want to, because that looks really good. This one, of course, is not pigmented. It's just a regular old blue-black from that Shikiori line. This one is, let's see, got any more Sailors in here? I bet I do. I bet I do. Yeah, here we go. Sailor Shikiori Yonaga, which is one of my favorite like deep blues. It's not really a blue-black, it's just a very, very dark blue. You can see the difference. You put those there, I think. Yep. Then, let's see. This is Aurora blue-black. Of the two, I definitely go with the Sailor blue-black, I think. This one is just very, very dry, which is, I mean, too bad, because it's a really nice color, but man, very dry for me. Then, let's see, we've got Roaring Klingon Sketch Ink Frida. Roaring Klingon is, of course, Roaring Klingner. That's a term coined by my buddy Jeremiah. Thanks very much, iInsomnia, for that. And this one is definitely a lot darker blue, but these are both pigmented, so I figured I'd show both of them because you can see this like interesting pooling like you have here as well. That's just a feature of that pigmented ink stuff. This is Three Oysters Navy Blue, which has a lot more green tones and also like gives you some sheen. You're not going to get that from the pigmented ink much. Although there's maybe a tiny bit of shine here. I'm not really sure if it's shine or sheen. It's hard to tell with pigmented ink sometimes. Here is Irishizuku's Shinkai and Tsukiyo. Of course, Tsukiyo is much bluer than Shinkai or than this one here, Souboku. But this one's kind of close, Shinkai. It's a little bit on the lighter side, I think. All right. Two more to go here. This one, another frame guy. This is Bungbox 4B, which is their blue-black. Bung Box Blue Black 4B. Get it? And this is from my friend Scott Paper Late on the Instagrams and such. And this is, I think, a more complicated blue black for sure than the Souboku, but very popular blue black. One of the ones that you ought to probably look into from that Bung Box line. It's got a very nice amount of sheen and shine. And then this one is brand new. This one is, I haven't even put a title on this because I've only just gotten this ink to swab. This is Papier Plume. It's called The Blues, and it's coming out as a sort of a limited edition later on this year. I'm not actually sure when this one drops, but I thought this actually was looking a lot more similar to this, but now under the brighter lights that I've got going on here, yeah, not really all that close. Just kind of a darkish blue, and not really. Well, maybe some in here and some in the middle here. I don't know. I thought it was going to be closer than it is. Throw it over there. All right. So thank you very much for checking this out. This has been Sailor's Souboku. Check out these pigmented inks if you haven't. Don't be afraid of them. They're quite nice and definitely worth getting your hands on. They're a little bit pricey, but you get a very high performance ink from those for that price. And actually, you get a little bit like blue-black shine on that cap. How nice is that, right? Okay. So anyway, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/inkdependence to become a patron and support the channel so I can, buy more stuff like this and show it to you. So there you go. That's it. I'm Ink Dependence on the Instagrams. Find me there and at inkdependence.com. Peace out.